In the 1970s, one quiet home on Long Island became the center of a storm, a place where tragedy struck and where stories of the unexplainable soon followed. Was it just a house? Or something far more sinister? Tonight, we open the door to Amityville. Welcome back to Macabre Mondays, where mystery meets macabre with your favorite deadly Mary duo. I'm Ale.
And I'm Tom.
Your guides through the strange, the sinister, and the spooky. We've been doing that a lot lately. It's so funny. Where I tell the stories and he gets dragged along for the ride. This is, if you're wondering why I look like this. Okay. If you don't get the reference immediately, I also have coconut set right now. Okay. If you don't understand the reference immediately, you need to go watch the movie 50 First Dates. Okay? Right?
I don't think anyone can guess who I am, but
yeah. I don't know. Can you?
Hi, I'm Tom.
For those who aren't listening or aren't watching video right now, I have a mop head. I have a mustache. I have a pink shirt on with
You have a mustache.
tattooed sleeves on, and a coconut bikini top with some monstera leaves, palmy type of leaves sticking out of them. Okay. Now, the only reference that this is from is 50 First Dates. I am Ula. Okay. Adam Sandler's best friend, or Henry Roth, right? His best friend. And Tom is literally Tom.
I'm Tom.
10-second Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom.
And they mean that because of his memory, not, but I'm saying in the movie.
Wow.
In the movie. I thought you were going to do a joke. I thought I thought the minute I said that, you might have been like, yo, gold mine. You're like, this is such a dude. I'm a bro right now.
You're a bro?
I'm such a bro right now. Ula's there for his homies, man. I love 50 First Dates.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite comfort movies. That's probably one of the very few non-horror comfort movies that I have. Yes, I love it so much.
You do watch it a lot.
This is our first episode in October, and so we figured, how much fun would it be if we dressed up as well and show you our Halloween costumes. Fun.
Our outfits.
Yes,
we're
our
bougie.
outfits.
We're fun with it.
Super bouge. JK, I have a mop head. I have a mop head. But if you haven't seen 50 First Dates, okay, remember if you haven't, please go watch it. It's so good. It's about this like playboy guy named Henry Roth. He's a veterinarian at the zoo, and he falls in love for this girl named Lucy who has short-term memory. So every day her memory resets, and he has to make her fall in love with her again. Sounds kind of sad,
Fall in love with him again.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Fall in love with him again. Yes. And so he ends up making this movie for her to watch every day in the morning that kind of keeps her up with the latest news, movies, just the whole world, because she doesn't know anything past the day before her accident. Yeah. So in the movie that he's making for her, his friend Ula is aka what I'm dressed up as right now, is there reenacting her of how they met, and it's just so freaking hilarious. I mean, I love Adam Sandler movies. I think they're amazing.
I mean, he's a classic. He gets overall his acting's very nice, and his movies are always just funny, feel good.
Yes, I love his movies so much.
They're never too serious.
No, well, other than like Uncut Gems, but
well, yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, all right, today's episode, okay, before we jump right back in there, don't forget, this month, October 18th to the 30th, okay, it's going to be a one chilling story, 13 chapters, one chapter a night. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be narrated by me. I think you guys are going to love it. I hope you guys do, but we tried, okay? So just mark that on your calendars and make sure you stay tuned. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to be releasing it towards the evening of each of those days. And I'm even thinking, you guys can even save it up for Halloween Day and listen to it all. It's probably going to be like an hour together, maybe a little over an hour.
That's solid. That's a solid idea.
That's a good, it's going to be spooky. You can do it either at bedtime. You could do like campfire stories, whatever the case is. I am so excited for you guys to read this. The writer that we're working with, he is chef's kiss. Love it. All right. let's jump into today's episode.
Let's do it.
Now, to kick off the month of October, we've actually been getting this topic submission a couple of times from some listeners.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. And I honestly wasn't even thinking about making it an episode or maybe something later down the line, and you'll see why. Well, actually, yeah, because it's kind of an infamous case. A lot of people know about this case.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you want to take a guess?
What do I guess?
Like what the case is.
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted me to guess. Country,
I see what you're
state,
saying. Yeah. No, it's going to be in the U.S. Okay. It's an infamous case. It's kind of like
Hell House LLC.
No, but that's such a good movie if you guys haven't seen that.
Are we going to the Winchester House?
No, not today. Not today, but that's a good one. Not a lot of people know about that one.
The Demon House.
Which one's that? Oh, in Gary, Indiana?
Yeah, which is no longer there.
Yeah, no, we're not going to that. We are going to Amityville, New York.
Ooh,
yes.
Okay.
We are going to Amityville, New York. Now, I'm sure you already kind of know. When I say Amityville, oh, you don't?
I know some shit happened in Amityville. I think there's even movies about it.
Uh-huh.
I just don't know anything.
Oh, baby. This whole time
I can't take you serious with the fucking outfit. I just keep looking over.
I wish I was able to get one of those like white contact lenses because he has like one of them off. Yeah, I think that would have really sold the outfit.
He's so funny.
Oh, I'm amazed you still have your memories, 10-second Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom.
No, so I didn't know you didn't know about it because
a
lot of people do. And I was like, I know Tom. I was like, I think he might actually.
Yo, I'm 10-second Tom. How the hell am I supposed to remember 10 seconds ago? Hi, I'm Tom.
That's true. Okay, this is going to be even better then. Oh, I'm so excited. Not that the ones where you did know, the very few that you have known aren't better. But I just like really love scaring you. I just love it.
Oh, okay. So is this murder, horror?
Okay, well, let's get into it, okay? Because I don't know if you guys didn't know, or Tom either, but the Amityville house, about everything about it, which we're going to talk more, all really started with an actual murder case.
Oh, man.
I know. All right. And to understand that, and to understand the legend of it all, we're going to have to first revisit the horrifying events that put Amityville, New York in the crosshairs of horror. Okay? Horror. Let's go back to 1974. Take it back. And here's where like the hot tub time machine would like. Okay. We're going back to the DeFeo family. The DeFeo family moved into the infamous house that we know now today as the Amityville house, okay, which is located in Amityville, New York. I was looking, well, obviously I was doing a bunch of research for this episode, and Al Capone actually lived there way back in the day.
Hold up, the same house?
No, not the same house. I'm saying in Amityville. In Amityville, New York. You're like, yo, the history.
He was a Chicago boy after.
Oh, was he? Okay, I don't know much about Al Capone, but I just do know like who he is and all that.
I'm pretty sure he was in Chicago. I don't remember now.
Well, whatever.
Either way.
Yes. So Amityville, New York is on the south shore of Long Island in Suffolk County, New York, which is a region in Long Island. And you know what's crazy? Because I've never been there. I've lived up there my whole life.
How many places how many places does the typical person even go to on Long Island?
No, that's true.
It's like an hour and a half just to get halfway.
But what I'm trying to say is that I don't know how I've never gone up and seen the house or driven
because
by.
You are,
yeah, because I'm so
into
it. Yeah, I didn't really think about that.
The way I thought was more, why would I ever be in Amityville? That's so far.
No, 100%. That's for sure.
You're a tourist.
Yeah, I'm literally. No, but when I lived up in Jersey, like I was always trying to find other spooky stuff. But yeah, no, very true. Now, the DeFeos, they moved to the home that we know today, Amityville, the Amityville house, in 1965 for $30,000.
Damn, it's cheap as hell.
I know. And
I wish our house was only $30K.
Dude, I think everybody and their mom nowadays, because no one can afford shit. Okay, so now in the DeFeo family, okay, we have Mr. DeFeo, which is Ronald DeFeo Sr. He is 43. Miss DeFeo, Louise DeFeo, 43 as well. They had 5 children. We've got John Matthew, he's 7. Mark, 12. Allison, 13. Dawn, 18. And Ronald Jr., 23, who they call Butch for short.
Love it.
Now, they lived a pretty comfortable life in the house with the house, Gorgina house, okay? With a pool. It's got a boathouse on the water with a dock. It's a beautiful Dutch colonial style home with
for $30K?
$30K. I know. What have we done to the housing market, man? I know. And this is like how they used to build homes back in the day, like the craftsmanship.
So you mean it was an actual 2x4, higher quality?
Yes, exactly. It wasn't IKEA furniture.
The walls weren't like this, where they were slightly curved.
Yes, exactly. Now, apparently, from what I was seeing, a lot of the family was all spoiled. Like whatever they wanted, they would get materialistically. So they were living pretty comfortably. And friends later who knew them said that Mr. DeFeo was actually really abusive. Super abusive. He would kind of beat on them. I mean, there's a documentary called Shattered Hopes. It's on YouTube, and they interview a bunch of friends that knew them, and the stories that they would tell about how Mr. DeFeo was with the family. He would beat on his wife. Damn. And his older son Butch and all that.
He was very aggressive.
Yeah, and he was also very much the macho type. Like he's like head of the household. That's kind of, he was Italian, so it was kind of a thing. But he was very obviously abusive and negative. That's never, you know what I mean? Like you can still be the head of the household and not be an ass.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Exactly. Now, neighbors actually said that they've heard loud arguments. Police were called to the house multiple times at some points. And Butch felt mistreated by his father, obviously. And his dad even told him that he would never live up to be like him.
Damn.
Just very, yeah. Yes. Yes.
Sorry, you did it again. You just take your hand and just push the mop back.
My mop head, yeah, because it's getting in my way. So the night of November 13th, 1974, they've lived in this home for 9 years. At around 3:15 a.m. on November 13th, okay, Butch takes a .35 caliber Marlin rifle, shoots, and murders his whole family.
Damn.
Yes, the whole family. He kills his dad first, then he kills his mom, and then he kills his brothers, and then he kills his older sister, Dawn.
I see why they call him Butch now. The butcher.
Oh, I can see that. That was a good connection there.
Thank you.
His parents were shot twice, and each of his siblings were shot only once. Now, all six of his family members were found in their beds face down. Hands raised above their head.
Damn.
All in their pajamas. So he shot them in the back while they were sleeping.
Damn.
Yes.
That's rough. I mean, I will say compared to other cases, at least it was only once, because I feel like a bunch of other cases where they killed their whole family, it's so aggressive and just...
Oh, you mean like how brutal it is?
Yeah. Some of them that are like, 27 stab wounds and they cut their parts into pieces. I'm just baffled.
Yeah.
And let alone you have the power to murder someone, but then...
Yeah, but then to go... Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah,
This is still insane, though. Like, why...
That's what I mean. I think...
Your whole family?
And you know what makes it even worse is how senseless it feels?
Yeah, because it's just...
I mean, it's not okay to do that.
I mean, you grew up with all these people. They raised you and your siblings, and then you just...
Yeah.
More or less executioner style, kill all of them.
Yeah, and to me, I feel more if it's... Or I think more if... Why your siblings?
Yeah, I agree with that.
If anything, your siblings are also victims. I'm just assuming, right? At this point, I'm thinking, okay, he must be murdering them because of abuse. Like he's been abused.
But then why his mom?
I don't know. That's my thing. Yeah. Why your siblings? Why? Yeah, because to me, I'm like already knowing that his upbringing is very like his dad is super abusive. He's negative. He beats on everybody. To me, it's like, why kill your siblings? Yes. Now, the crazier part, not that this isn't crazy, this is already, the whole case is crazy already, but is the fact that no one heard the gunshots. So from what I was reading...
No neighbors, nothing?
Nothing. From what I was reading, he shot 9 times.
Wait, hold on.
And he has a rifle.
That's also... okay, that takes me to a whole nother thing. How did none of his family wake up?
That is what is intriguing about the fact that...
Did they find any... I'm sure you're going to tell me, but...
No, but you can keep asking me the questions.
The toxicology report, did it say that any of them had any types of drugs in their systems that would have...
From everything that I could see...
made them sleep?
No. It seemed like there was nothing in... from what everything I could find. Yes. And I also was like, was there a silencer? No silencer was found. Okay. No
This
neighbors
is
heard
so
this.
odd.
Yes. The only known account that I saw was that a kid, I think it was like 2 or 3 blocks down, said that he could hear the dog barking at 3:15 in the morning.
So you can hear a dog.
Right.
Also, why are you awake at that time?
I don't know. That's a good question. Oh, me? I mean, I'd be
No,
up
the
at
kid.
that time.
The kid.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how
You still,
old.
even as a kid, you would have been awake at the time.
I don't know how old he was. That's how literally how I read it in the in an
was that he
article.
was a kid?
Yes, that he was a kid, and that he said he heard a dog barking at 3:15,
Hmm.
and he was like 2 blocks away. So to me, I'm like,
Damn, 2 blocks?
Yeah.
And your neighbors didn't even hear the gun?
but you also got to think it's 3:15 in the morning.
Maybe the whole town's in on it.
No, but now every time we cover an episode, you immediately are starting to think because of how crazy the episodes are that I tell you all about this. But yeah, so I just thought that was really interesting because nobody, so people could neighbors could hear them argue, but they didn't hear
They're
the
like,
gunshots.
yeah, it's just like the neighbors can hear, the dad was literally being abusive as hell to them, but then we didn't hear a single gunshot, nothing.
Yeah, so so keep that in mind because it's just odd. And so what do you know about the Amityville? Like, what do you know about it from
that it's a place.
That's it? Even
And
growing up,
there's
anything
maybe
about
hauntings? I don't know.
So that's all you know about the Amityville Horror House.
Baby, I was sheltered because I had nightmares as a child.
Okay.
It was up until I met you that I became desensitized to a bunch of this.
All this stuff. Okay, gotcha. Okay. So good that nice to know that that's what you know of, like hauntings and such. Okay. So I'm going to keep going forward. So you
All
can
right,
see
let's do it.
What we're doing. I don't think you don't sound happy. Now, after he murders his whole family, okay, he cleans up, he showers, and he goes to work like a normal day. All right. Nothing.
So just plays it off.
Just plays it off. Later that evening on November 13th of 1974, because remember, he murders them in the morning at 3:15. Later that evening, Butch walks into a bar in Amityville, local bar that he's been to plenty of times before. That's where he started shouting that his mom and dad were shot, saying that he needed help.
Well, how long did... So did he just show up to the bar, or... Was he like at the bar and then
no? He showed up to the bar.
Oh,
yeah, he showed up to the bar.
Okay.
Like he walked into the bar.
Initially,
and
it kind of sounded like he came in, got a few drinks, and then out of nowhere just starts shouting that.
No.
Imagine being a standby or just.
Yeah, one of the patrons.
You've been in
they're
here
like,
2 hours?
"What's going on? Is everything all right?" No. So he tells him, he's like, "Hey, listen, my mom and dad, my family's been shot. I need help. All that." So the patrons at the bar, they all get into his car, drive to the house. They obviously see the scene at the house. He doesn't come inside, by the way. They go inside without him. He said he can't go inside. He just can't go inside. Okay, they obviously go inside the house and they see the scene. They call the police.
Mm-hmm. Obviously.
Right. Initially, Butch was trying to blame the murders on mobsters, saying that it was a mob hit. But later, no joke, I think I read somewhere that said like an hour later, he just confesses to murdering them. He's like, you know what? It was me. Yes.
Well, that was easy.
Yes.
If I was a cop,
case
closed.
Yes. He ends up saying that there were voices in the house that were urging him to kill his family, that it was possessing him to do so.
Annabelle, are you here?
You've never been the same since that episode.
Nope.
In a prison interview, he said, after that, I couldn't stop even if I wanted to. I couldn't put the gun down. He was saying that he felt like someone was inside of him, controlling his every move.
Oh, Slender Man.
No, nothing to do with any of the other episodes. He said that he could hear voices in his house the night that he murdered his family. He was claiming that he was hearing like whispers and he thought that his family was conspiring against him. Then he said that he saw a black figure hand him the rifle and it went from there.
Damn.
Creepy. Well, the investigators, obviously, they're doing their investigations. They end up noting that he was actually a big drug user. I'm talking LSD, heroin, speed. Yes.
Things are starting to make sense here.
Right. Because then at this point, I'm like, I don't know. That's kind of it could be drug induced.
Their faces were melting and stuff, and that was the only way I knew to take care of it.
And also, like, hearing like he's saying that he's hearing whispers in the house, and there's black figures. He could just be having.
The only other thing I was thinking of was schizophrenia.
Okay, I can see that too. Yeah, and I thought what was wild too is that he's already in this headspace. I mean, he lives in this home, which would from that documentary I watched, like the kids could not get away from their dad. Like anytime they would try to leave the house, especially Butch and Dawn, the dad would be like, "You're not going anywhere. Like, we're a family. We're gonna stick together." And Butch was apparently was married at one point. He was married. Yeah, and he was having he had a kid and everything. Yes, and his dad was very, very controlling, very controlling. A year later goes by, and the case goes to trial. His attorney ends up playing the whole insanity defense, but it doesn't stick. Prosecutors countered that he was fully aware of his actions and murdered his families for a life insurance payout. Butch was found guilty and sentenced to 6 consecutive terms of 25 years to life. So he's done. That's his new life.
He's done.
Yes, he lives in prison. Forwarding address, prison, literally. He later ends up claiming he changes his narrative. Yeah, he ends up changing the narrative. So remember, at first he was saying that he was possessed, something took a hold of him that he couldn't control, and he couldn't stop. So he ends up changing his narrative. He says, and he claims it was self-defense, that his sister Dawn actually killed his parents and his siblings, and so he went to try to take the gun out of her, and he accidentally shot her, essentially, and it goes from there.
So she went back to bed and then you shot her?
That's what I'm saying. That don't make no sense.
No.
Yeah, that don't make no sense. If they're all found laying on the bed up on their stomachs, it just doesn't make sense, right? So the whole self-defense...
Full of caca.
Full of caca, full of poo-poo, doo-doo. My nephew would have loved that you said
full
that.
of dookie.
Yeah, he would have loved that you said that. Dookie. Oh, that's so funny. That's a funny word. So they do the investigations into that theory as well, but there was in the documentary of Shattered Hopes, well, from what I was seeing, they found no evidence of a second gunman or that really corroborated the story. So, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because, even at that time, you're laying face down.
Yeah.
That's object number 1 to me is
right.
That's telling me.
Well, she got shot from the back. So it's like, yeah.
Number 2, even at that time, they probably had forensics teams that actually knew blood splatter patterns and everything too. Yeah. So same thing, more than likely, they can tell what angle you shot her at.
Right. And also they probably only found blood in the rooms. So if you guys did
if you were in an altercation,
it would show. It would show. Right.
There'd be a lot more blood in other places than just there.
And it would look like a sign something happened, like something happened.
Yeah. On top of it, probably, and I'm not a forensics person, but just going off of all the darn things that we've covered, I'm assuming that her body would have also shown some type of struggle or something.
Yeah.
Even if he never laid a hand on her and just shot her, I'm sure something in her muscles or something as they were doing an autopsy would have shown she was trying to fight back.
Right. No, I agree. Well, he ends up dying in prison in March of 2021 at the age of 69.
Not that long ago.
Yeah, not that long ago at the age of 69. And to this day, there's still no real definitive motive that's been established. But a lot of the investigators and a lot of people believe, it was probably the substance abuse. He was using drugs, the family abuse, and maybe there was some possible mental illnesses. Who knows?
It sounds like a little combination, yeah.
Could have been a combination too, yes, exactly. But he still, he just did not change. He was like, no, Dawn, the self-defense. But at first, it was a huge news headline at the time because he was saying he was possessed. Like the house was possessing him to do this
wild.
Thing. Yes. So the house stands vacant for about a year with everything in the house still left. Like they left, obviously Butch is now in prison. The DeFeo family's unfortunately been murdered. So the house stands still for about a year with everything still left in it. It's December 18th of 1975. The Lutz family moved into the Amityville home. We've got George and Kathleen Lutz. They're newlyweds, and they're looking for a new home for them and their 3 kids. From what I was reading, I think the 3 kids are from a past marriage of Kathy's, but
Okay.
That doesn't really matter. I just am mentioning it because I saw that. It's their kids. It's George's kids as well. So they've got Daniel, who's 10, Christopher, who is 7, and Melissa, who is 5, which they call her Missy. And they also have a dog named Harry.
Oh.
We love a good dog.
Oh,
we love
no.
A good dog. What are you nervous about?
Is the dog okay?
The dog is okay.
Okay, that's all I care about.
Yeah, I know. Same.
I'm sorry, DuPont, Mr.
I know.
Like, the hell? Just release the damn dogs.
Guys, if you haven't listened to the DuPont de Ligonnès episode, it's one of the first few episodes we did. Tom can't ever let it go. If you haven't noticed, he's mentioned it every other episode.
You guys got to listen. There's 2 things that you'll hear in the episode that just really rubbed me the wrong way. Not like the whole episode, obviously, but 2 specific things that really hit me that I was just kind of thinking, but why? Why'd you need to do all that too?
Right. I know. I feel you.
You know how it be?
I show you. I know. Well,
all right.
Okay. So the Lutz, they go see the house. Okay. There's a realtor. They show them the house. They fall in love with the home. The realtor lets them know after they fall in love with the home, the history.
Hey, just a heads up. The whole family was killed here.
Right. By the way, there's a murder that took place here. And the one thing that also, I mean, they love the home. The home is gorgeous, like I said. But one of the things that drew them to the home too was the price point, because it was going under asking because of what happened there.
Was it cheaper than the $30,000 they originally bought it for?
It was $80,000.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it was $80,000.
Cool. Love it.
Which honestly, I looked it up. The equivalent of $80,000 in 1975 to right now would be $480,000 with like $300. But yeah, I know. So I was like, okay, but for this type of home, like we're talking 3,600 square feet. We're talking.
Oh, this is a nice family
5
home.
5 beds, 4 baths. Ooh. You've got the pool. You've got the boathouse. You've got the water.
Oh.
Yeah, like to find something like that for $480,000, that is unheard of right now. I'd have to live somewhere where nobody lives in my own pond.
And even then, you're probably still paying above that.
You're still paying above that. It's crazy. Okay. So they take that into consideration, the fact that the murders took place there, and they all ended up agreeing, essentially, maybe just George and Kathy.
The house is a good deal.
Yeah.
We're on the water, pool, it's big. We're going to move in, live in this happy forever.
And one of the things that they said was that they believe like there's nothing wrong with the house. The house didn't kill the family. It was just the actions of Butch. Yeah. Right. So it's like, why would we not get the house? It'll be fine. So a friend of theirs actually suggested, hey, why don't you just get the home blessed? That won't hurt.
Makes sense. I would do the same thing.
Right.
Jinx,
you owe me a foot rub.
Okay.
And so they do get the house blessed. So the priest that they asked to come do the blessing was one that they knew personally, because George, this is his second time being married. They somehow know each other because of that.
I've been through this.
Later, the Lutz end up learning that their priest, which that's the other thing that I was trying to grasp and I wasn't entirely sure of, where I don't know I think the priest showed up to bless the home, but nobody was home, or but apparently he did bless it. Okay, for right now, as for what we know, you'll see. He blessed it, supposedly. Okay. I'm not entirely sure when. But the thing was that later, the Lutz end up learning that their priest said that he actually heard a deep voice when he was in there telling him to get out.
That's why I'm calling another priest, the special ones.
the
exorcist ones.
You're like, this is out of my hands, God.
No, this is...
Lord, no.
It's the same thing as a cop. Nope. This is out of my jurisdiction.
Yeah. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna get out. You ask politely, I'm gonna just get out. So
I'm gonna call the other guy.
So it told him in a very deep demonic voice to get out.
Get out.
And also, from what I was seeing, that he got slapped when he was there. Yes.
This poor damn priest.
I would have turned in my papers. This ain't for me. All
I was supposed to do was bless it. You know how many times I've thrown holy water on a damn house? And this time I get smacked?
He ends up telling them, listen, just do not convert this one room in the house to a bedroom, because he really felt so like bad in there.
He's like, I
it
got
felt very
slapped
off.
to the face.
You're like,
in
listen,
the face.
don't do it.
He yelled
Don't
at
do
me
it.
to get out.
Come to find out that room that he was saying not to turn into a bedroom was the room where the 2 young DeFeo boys were murdered. Okay.
Interesting.
Which, regardless, to me, I'm like, any of the houses,
any of
the bedrooms essentially would be haunted if everyone was shot in their beds, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would think. That's what I'm thinking. Those are my theories, my thoughts. So according to the Lutzes, after the house was blessed, that's when some strange phenomena started happening.
You don't say.
Yes.
A priest was smacked in the face and
told to get out.
Yeah.
Yes. Which makes sense, right? Because
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
If I was the family and a priest told me, hey, just a heads up.
There's something's happening in here. Yes. The Lutz, they started claiming that at the beginning, they were just trying to get used to the noises in the house that it would make, which makes sense. So old house, you got creaks.
Get out. They're like, man, that creaky floorboard.
Honestly, for a home like that, I would act the same way, though. I'd be acting the same way. Especially at that price point, I'd be like,
nah, I'd be telling you, we're getting out.
Huh?
We're moving.
Just wait till I keep talking about this. And remember our Florida home. Make sure to mention it later.
Okay.
There's...
Let's get into it.
I was like, great. Not the Florida home. I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, they were hearing creaks and all that. But after Christmas, they said that the sounds kind of shifted and that they were feeling a lot more different than before. The sounds were now starting to sound more like scraping, more like bang.
It was Buddha.
Shit, my God. I heard a banging and that scared me. I got spooky.
He's like underneath your chair right now.
I know, but that was on cue, Buddha, because I was just talking about them hearing paranormal.
Good job, buddy.
Good job. So they started hearing more scraping, banging, very eerily. At this point, it seems like everyone seems to be experiencing different things.
Wonderful.
Yes.
We love this.
Yes. So it's like, for example... Kathleen may have experienced something like touch her back, but then George would feel like a very cold chill. So
I know
everyone's
that feeling.
Do you see why I said Florida house? Okay, you'll see more as we keep talking.
Oh.
As the time progressed, George said that he was experiencing intense wave of cold. He had the fireplace on 24/7. They said that they would smell old perfume randomly, that there was a lot of tension within the family because they said that they're usually not a family that would fight or argue or anything, and that things were rising.
I mean, I'd be feeling a little tension too myself.
But he's saying that they were feeling that against each other. Like he was feeling that. Yes. Have you seen any of the movies, by the way?
Nope.
Oh, you haven't seen any movies?
Nope.
How is it that I always got to watch all the movies you want to watch, and then when I say, "Hey, we should do this,"
Pause. How many spooky movies have we been watching?
Okay, but it's spooky movie marathon. You knew that when you married me.
You knew that when you married me. Marathon 24/7.
Okay, from August to October, you know those are my months specifically.
365.
Oh, 365. Oh, poor baby.
I get maybe December.
That is such a lie, because we made an agreement that you get November, December. I get August, September, October.
How are there a bunch of other months that are not included in that?
Right,
though?
that is just up to play. That's just up to play. It's not my fault that we just so happen to watch
I just want you guys to know
movies.
what happens. Usually,
oh my God,
I'll say, "Oh, we're gonna watch this," or "I was thinking of watching this," and sometimes she's down with it. Other times, oh, we can't watch something spooky.
Oh my God. Oh.
And then
God.
I fold. I love this woman, so I fold.
Okay. Well. Okay.
You really look like him right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we will watch it then. You're right. Apologies.
You really
Shake
look.
on it.
I'm just waiting for you to just look at me and say, "You can do it.
You can do it." It's like, sharks are friendly. They only bite you if you touch their private parts. This is such a good movie. I can't. Okay, so.
Tensions are high, obviously.
Tensions are high. They were also experiencing an infestation of flies.
Oh my gosh.
1 second there would be hundreds, and then the next they would be gone. It was also in the room, specifically in Kathy's sewing room, which is the room that the priest said not to turn into a bedroom.
Yo, I'm seeing a lot of similarities right now.
Yeah. And okay, so remember, this is the middle of December, and I was like, you know what? I know they have what is it, all the data of like weather reports of way back when. So I'm like, let me see. I did some digging. I was like, let me see if I could find
That's so hot.
What's
that's awesome.
Thanks, I know. What's the weather in December of like 25th? I just put Christmas of December 25th of 2000 because it didn't go all the way back to 75, unfortunately. And from what I saw in the 2000s, so it could have been a little bit chillier, but it showed that the highest was 25 and the low was 17. Okay, and that was like at the peak of the day, like the hottest day was 25. I forget
they're on Long Island.
Yeah, they're on Long Island, so it's gonna be chillier. And he's on the water. This is on the water.
Even worse too.
Yeah, it gets a little bit chillier there. Okay,
it's now not the temperature that'll get you. It's the
wind. Not
I've taught you well. So anyone from the Midwest knows what I'm talking about.
Such a Midwest comment. Yes. Now, the flies is an important thing to note because when people talk about hauntings or demonic activity, one detail that has came up time and time again is the sudden appearances of flies.
Did they happen to be flying ants?
That's why I said remember the Florida home, because I was researching this case and I'm like, holy shit.
I'm so glad we sold that damn house.
Yeah, I was like, I know you'll see the similarities of some of the things already hearing voices because you were hearing voices in the Florida home.
I heard it how many times?
No, and we also had like an infestation of flying ants.
Guys, there were moments that I'd be in a room and I knew Ale was in the kitchen. And there was one time I was in one of our guest bedrooms, which was like down a hallway and everything.
It was on the other side of the home. Yeah.
And I heard behind me, as I was getting ready to walk out of that room, I heard, hello? In a woman's voice. And that was about the 16th or 20th time that I had heard it. And all I thought in my head was, nope, I remember what Ali taught me. Don't even interact. I'm going to just keep walking.
Don't answer.
I even had a hammer thrown at me once.
He did.
This was,
yes.
And it was no joke. You guys know, well, not everybody. If you don't, look up a ladder, the top of a ladder. I had a rubber mallet, which also had a somewhat rubber handle sitting.
It was heavy. It was a heavy. Yeah.
Inside one of those tool holes in the top of the ladder. That rubber handle sets maybe about a foot long. There's no way in hell that just me maybe grazing the ladder or something would have made that magically come all the way a foot up in the air and fall down. She was at Lowe's.
We were on the phone.
Yeah, she was on FaceTime because I had her run to Lowe's to pick me up another part that I needed to finish something. And all of a sudden, the rubber mallet almost hit me. And I wasn't touching the ladder. I was nowhere near it.
Because we were on FaceTime.
I had sawhorses up and everything. I was so far away from the ladder, and somehow the hammer came and landed and almost hit me in the head.
That was, I know, I remember that.
And it freaked me out.
Brutal.
And then we had flying ants and everything towards the end of our time there too.
Yeah, because we didn't live there too long because we ended up moving. We had to move
again. And we were
again.
paying for insect control too. So, and I always thought that was so crazy because we were getting, it was mass amounts, and they were not termites. If anyone's going to get in the comments,
they were not termites.
They were not termites.
They weren't.
Checked and verified.
Yes, I remember that. That was crazy. And when I was researching the Amityville case, I was thinking, I'm like, wow, that's kind of strange because like we had something. We maybe had the more bootleg version of that. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have a Get Out. We had a Hello. We didn't have flies. We had flying ants.
Yes.
It was like carpenter ants. I was like, okay, all right, I can see that. All right.
Yeah, did not enjoy it.
So that's the thing, because on the surface that obviously seems ordinary, right?
Yeah.
Flies are pests.
I mean, that's what we thought too.
Right. But in folklore and religion, they carry a much darker meaning. So in Christian demonology, the name Beelzebub, you know him, translates to the Lord of the Flies. So for centuries, flies were seen as a message of decay and corruption, things that were linked with evil or unclean spirits. So when a swarm of flies show up to a story like the Amityville Horror, people don't just see it as insects, they could see it as a possible sign of something demonic is going on. And of course, there could be very much natural explanations to these things. It could be maybe a certain species. Maybe it's a cluster that hibernated in a wall. I don't really know much about all this, but you know what I mean?
Either
Sometimes
way.
there could be an answer to, right. Yeah. Exactly. But when you're already kind of primed to believe that something sinister or something sinister is happening or something sinister had happened, you're more inclined to believe that maybe there is something going on here that's paranormal, that isn't real life, that there's more to it than that.
Lots of connections.
Yes,
Lots
exactly.
of connections.
And it just shows you like something just doesn't feel right. So if you mix that folklore, religion, and that real life moment, it just kind of... There was this study that I actually read a while ago, because when I was, when I was researching this, it made me think about it. There's a study that I read, and it was psychologists have actually found that people are actually 2 to 3 times more likely to report ghostly experiences if they've been told a place is haunted or there's dark history.
Really?
Yeah, which I thought was fascinating because it makes sense.
Yeah.
You're more on edge.
I was going to say, the way I see it is people are, I don't want to say searching for it.
Right.
But I feel like...
But you're more like heightened, like your senses are more heightened because you think you're going to see something or you're going to feel something. And they actually call it the expectancy effect. So exactly, like basically when you walk into a space that's already primed to believe that something spooky is going on, or like that there was a murder here or whatever took place, you can start connecting maybe a chill with something more sinister. Maybe a creek is not really just a creek. You think someone's walking, so it kind of goes hand in hand. Now, George even stated that they started noticing the kids sleeping on their stomachs, which was something that they've never seen before. That's not something that they usually do. And at first I was like, well, how would he know? But I'm like, when you're a parent, you're probably checking in on your kid every night, making sure they're sleeping, putting them to bed. You're probably going to notice certain behaviors that they're not doing prior. So I could see that. Now, each night he started saying that he was waking up around 3:15 a.m.
The kid waking up for the dog barking.
Well, yes, and that's when Butch DeFeo woke up to murder his parents. So that's another thing. Okay.
Sell the house.
Well, that's the thing. Not everybody can do it. Remember I was telling you the other day about this show that I used to watch with my family, and it's called. We used to watch it in Spanish. I know they have it in English, but in Spanish it was Historias de Ultratumba, and it was real life stories of like paranormal encounters from people who have experienced it. And a lot of the times they were like, "Damn, we just bought this house. We have to make ends meet. We can't just bounce." Which to me, I was like, "Damn, I never really thought of that." Like, to me, I'm like, why just leave? It's haunted.
Which, to be fair, everything in Spanish, I feel like anything in Spanish is spooky. 10 times scarier.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That and anytime we're watching Nuke's Top 5, anything over in Asia.
Yes.
Or Japan.
Oh, my God.
Dude.
Sorry. Everybody's
those two areas, I feel like, have the spookiest freaking videos.
Agreed. No, 100% agreed. So it kind of reminded me of this because, well, also, this is after December, okay? So they just moved. I mean, this is after Christmas. They just moved there, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. They even said that the front door was ripped off his hinges one night.
I'm sorry, what?
But okay. But from what I was seeing...
There was a hurricane.
No. From what I was seeing, the door that the Lutz were talking about wasn't actually the door. It was the screen door. So to me, I'm like, you live by the water. That also could just be a breeze. I'm usually not a skeptic, right? But like to me...
I'm being skeptic as fuck.
Yeah, but to me, I'm just like, okay, that seems a little bit more like... maybe maybe you didn't lock it.
But add everything else.
But I'm like, well, if you think about it, it could just be a specific species, and maybe it was a creaky radiator.
Nope.
I keep hearing scratching.
It's Buddha.
Okay, Buddha, why are you doing this on cue? You see what I mean? The expectancy effect. Right now, I'm literally living it, guys. This is I'm the guinea pig. Cut it out, because as long as I always use the dogs as kind of like a meter, like if something really is happening, because if something really is, they're gonna see it.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah, they're gonna let me know. Now, another thing they were claiming was that the windows were slamming shut, that there was greens like slime that would ooze down the walls.
Yo, what? Yes. How many more signs do you need?
Tom's like, get the hell out of there. Take the loss. I don't care. He said, come to the house. Come to my house.
Remember when we moved into that house in Florida too? There were weird ass stains on the wall.
Yo, don't be saying that right now.
No, remember that?
But
they were in my office and we were like, I mean, I guess it's like coffee stain.
We're like, what is that?
But it was also so weird because that room you wouldn't really eat in, and
Yeah, but I don't know. You don't know. Stop. You're starting to scare me right now.
I'm just saying.
We're starting to know. Me and you are like, we're in
Mhm.
sync right now. I'm like, yeah, but they own that house since it was built. So I figured it was probably dirty
And
or
remember
something.
what we found out? Remember, we found out that the original owner, the mom,
she
did not want to move into the home that they put her in.
But she didn't pass away in the house.
She didn't.
She passed away. Yeah, but she did not want to leave.
Who's to say she didn't try to get back?
She came back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's who was talking to you. She was flirting with you the whole time. Hello?
I don't know if that was flirting. She threw a hammer at me. Maybe she thought it was her husband.
Probably. If everything I'm telling you isn't already kind of spooking you, oh damn, Scrappy scared. It's spooking me, okay? If it's not already spooking you, their daughter Melissa had a new invisible friend.
Oh no!
Named Jody.
I'm not looking forward to this because I got so many slides in my presentation you put together for me left.
Sorry.
And I feel like we're just at the surface.
I know. Sorry. Well, her invisible friend name was named Jody. And you would think Jody would be a human. No. Jody was a pig-like creature. Yes. A pig-like creature. Which...
Nope.
Another thing that I read somewhere was that apparently they claim that they saw hoof-like prints in the snow outside.
I'd be walking with my daughter every single day. Every time she comes walking up to me, I just put my hand out. The power crusher pills.
Tom's gonna walk around with like Expector Gadget, all the holy water, the Bible, rosary.
I just toss water on her every once in a while. Watch for it to steam off.
You're like, okay, we should be good tonight.
Damn demon child.
Which also think about it, pigs are kind of a correlation. Sometimes we've seen that it's satanic or things like that. There's and I think it's in the Jewish religion that they believe pigs have. Don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely sure, but I remember hearing something about that. So another thing that they've said that they've been experiencing was rotten smells that would permeate in different rooms. George said that they had seen red, like glowing eyes staring back at them from the notorious famous quarter shaped windows, like the quarter moon windows. Yeah.
No big deal. Probably just a reflection of something, right?
Their son Christopher recounted seeing a dark human shaped figure in his doorway that advanced and then also vanished, kind of leaving this foul stench behind. Kathy claimed that
his dad walked by and ripped ass and then just kept walking.
Kathy claimed that she levitated and was thrown from the bed at one point. Okay, all right, let me get through it. Okay.
All right, keep going.
Now,
we got a lot to go through.
This other claim was that Kathy said that she was having dreams of being Miss DeFeo when she was being murdered. As if she was in her shoes that night, okay? It's pretty much saying that she's reliving the night of the murders, and that Kathy even states that that she could even feel the bullets entering in and out. So there's a lot of details that apparently weren't, weren't released, and she actually reached out to Butch's lawyer to talk to them to see if any of the things that she said would match up to her story, to her dreams.
Let me guess, they did.
So supposedly they did. Okay. Supposedly they did. Okay. They ended up finding out that what she was experiencing in the dream, supposedly that's what they said. They both said, yeah, that's what happened. So after all this that I just told you, okay, after just 28 days, on January 14th of 1976, 28 days later, the Lutz family experienced what George called their worst night ever, and they flee the house. They literally left everything behind. Only the clothes on their back.
Took you long enough, but same.
And they grabbed the dog.
As you should.
Now, they explained that the fear that they experienced that night was something that they could never really put into words, and they would never want anyone else to experience. So they leave everything behind, and the only thing that I saw that they ended up grabbing was a kind of like a hope chest that was in George's family that was built, and it had some mementos. So that's the only thing that they ended up taking. Now, one of the things that I learned in one of the documentaries I watched was that supposedly the Lutz, they actually bought some of the DeFeo furniture. I was like, Tom's face. He's just like, I don't know all items exactly, right? But what I did see was that some of the furniture that they did buy was the bed frames of the DeFeo kids.
Oh my gosh.
Not the mattresses, but just the DeFeo bed frames. I know. I agree. I totally agree.
I'm tossing that in the New York Harbor.
I know. That I agree. Now, which if that is very accurate, which that's what I saw. I don't know everything else that they bought, but even just buying the bed frames itself, okay, you've got to think about it. It kind of is going to make the house feel a lot more haunted. And there is that paranormal lore that we know of where, certain entities could be tied to objects.
Yeah. Why risk it?
Or something that has like violent death. But again, their theory, the thought process is, well, the house didn't do anything. The furniture didn't do anything, right? So, and you also have to think about it. How many people go thrift shopping? Vintage,
okay,
antiquing.
That's true.
We don't know the history.
We do have a roseback chair that was in a house that somebody died in.
Yeah, but that's Grandpa.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that. That was different.
Oh, excuse me?
Yeah, one of the roseback chairs that my dad gave us.
Yeah, which was that one?
We got that from a house behind our house that was an estate sale.
Oh.
Because the husband that was left alive, he passed away in the house.
Man, okay, so that's a prime example. You know, how much stuff do we own that we don't even know? We also have Grandpa's chair.
Yeah, that's different. He died in it, so every time I'm in there,
I guess
I'm just
that's
reading with him.
different, even though that's the same. It's like a warm hug when you sit in
Yeah.
there. It's a very comfortable
My
chair.
grandpa wouldn't do anything harmful
No,
to me.
he wouldn't. Exactly. Very true. But that's what I mean. You know, how many times do we people just go vintage shopping or, antiquing or thrifting or
It's
whatnot?
true, it's
So
true.
you just really never know what you're going to take home. And what was the movie that we just saw? Oh, The Conjuring, The Last Rites, the haunted mirror.
I was thinking about the mirror, yes.
The mirror.
No joke, the whole time you've been talking about this,
You were
all I
thinking
kept
about-
thinking of was if they left and they took the mirror with them.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
and that's why I was waiting for you to say that the hope chest was actually from the original family. And
Then, no. Well, that's the thing, right? So psychologists have a term for this, which I didn't know this, but I just learned it. And it's called the law of contagion. So the idea that tragedy or evil can sort of kind of like rub off on things and reside within them. So whether you really believe in haunted objects or just the fact that a furniture has dark history, it just kind of adds another layer to the story, right? Just kind of adds more to it. Now, well, you know what also reminded me of? When we went to Salem and we sat on that haunted chair.
yeah,
The expectancy effect, remember?
it was so funny.
We
though, 'cause
sat in it.
We were all
We didn't
very
feel
just,
anything, yeah.
oh, there's nothing gonna happen. And then these two younger kids sat in and they're like, I feel like I'm sick. I feel so
Which
heavy.
is everything that she said a lot of
Yes.
people have said that they felt. And to me, I remember you guys sat in it. I don't think I sat in it.
Your brother
No,
was
I
the
didn't sit
first
in
one to sit in it because I was skeptical.
Yes. And you guys didn't feel
No.
anything at all. So
No.
yeah, that's true. And he had cancer at the time. So if anyone was going to
literally-
feel something, it was going to be
No,
him.
he
It was
literally
gonna be
made the
him.
comment. He said, well, what else do I have to lose? I mean, I got cancer.
He's
so.
like, yeah, screw it. Why not? So bad.
And then
So-
when he sat in it, he was like, ah!
You could
It's
tell the
so
people in front of
funny.
us, they're like,
They were so
dude.
annoyed with
Yeah,
us.
they're like, we felt something. But that's fine too, okay? Everybody feels something different. We're not here to shame anybody for it. But yes, but again, that
Yes.
just shows you're 2 to 3 times more
Expecting- yeah.
likely to say that something is happening
Yeah, that's
paranormal
true.
wise. So the Lutz's family story after that, because they leave, it travels fast.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Is it truth? Is it fiction? Is it something in between? What is it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
They, in 1977, okay, there's an author named Jay Anson. He ends up publishing the Amityville Horror, a true story. That's the name of the book. He based it on 45 hours of taped interview with the Lutzes.
Holy
So
cow.
he worked with the Lutzes to write this book.
Damn.
The book sold millions of copies. They described the haunting as a demonic nightmare, and they even claimed that the house sat on a Native American burial site. So
Oh,
now we're adding
well,
another
just to
layer.
add- I was just
Now
gonna
we're
say,
adding another layer.
another thing.
2 years later came the movie The Amityville Horror, the 1979. Okay, this is the OG one,
Okay.
starring James Brolin and Margaret Kidder. Okay, I forgot all about James Brolin, but then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot he's in that movie because I've seen it. I also just watched it again the other day because I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
you know, just like that vintage, like like the way
You're
they
feeling
used to
happy watching it.
No. But the way that they used to film movies back then, it just
yeah.
kind of had this like vibe to it. I don't know. But anyways,
It was kind of grainy too.
it was. That's exactly what it was, and it was just it just kind of nostalgic, that feeling. Not the movie scary stuff, everything else, but that movie pulled in more than $86 million at the box office, and this was kind of like one of the big scary movie theaters at the time, where everybody was like going to that was like, oh my god, it's a scary movie, it's a haunted house. It really captivated
scary
America.
Movies also weren't overly
and this was one of the first ones that I think, from what I saw, it was one of the first ones where it was like about a haunted house, and it was a lot more relatable to people because it could happen in any house, right? And it was a true story, and a house made this happen to the Lutz. Like, a house was haunting. It's classic, okay? It's like your classic horror trope. Now, James Brolin, originally said that he believed the Lutz's story, but later ends up brushing it off as he felt that it was just kind of a blown up tale. Like, he didn't really believe on what happened.
No, I don't believe him. I think
James
he's
Brolin
lying
or the
on
Lutz's?
Him.
James Brolin?
Yeah, the follow up. No, I don't believe them. No, I think you just wanted to not believe them because you started getting a little scared of your own creation.
Oh, you think so?
I
Oh, you never
believe
know.
that.
You never know. But still, the Amityville, the whole like saga, I guess you can say, because it's like a whole thing now, pretty much exploded, and it sparked over 30 films, dozens of books, and countless of documentaries and parodies and so forth. Which, have you seen the Scary Movie where they make fun of this? Well, no, they make fun of The Exorcist, actually.
Oh, yes.
And that's a great example of the flies, because the priest is actually using the bathroom, and there's an infestation of flies, and he's trying to open the window, and it's because he just he just dropped a massive dookie. Yes, that's literally it. Okay. So, in March of 1976, so just a few months after the Lutz's leave, ghost hunters Ed and Lorraine Warren, we know who they are, we've covered them.
I was going to say, I felt like, didn't they also cover this case?
They covered The Conjuring, feels somewhat like that, yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But that's based on...
It's just Buddha. Jesus,
Buddha scaring me. But that The Devil Made Me Do It is based on an actual case.
Okay.
Of somebody murdering somebody, because they claim... They actually... The first ever defense of The Devil Made You Do It.
Mm-hmm. I thought there was an actual Conjuring house.
There is an actual Conjuring house. Okay. Yes. That's like something else. But... Ed and Lorraine Warren, they organized what they called a psychic slumber party. Okay. They had reporters and photographers join them in the house because everybody wanted in on this. This was like the top news at the time. Nobody was able to go visit the house because the Lutzes were very kind of, not peculiar, but they were very specific, because every time they were coming out with their story, like, hey, we lived in a haunted house, we did all of that, nobody really believed them. They were kind of like telling them that it was all for a sham. There's a lot of skeptics. Obviously, if you're either a believer or you're a skeptic, you're not really an in-between. So they had reporters and photographers join them in the house. Lorraine described it as a level 10 on the demonic scale and swore that she'd never return again. That night, they had cameras all over the place. They've got photographers. They've got some
good looking sideburns.
I'm getting chills right now. About to tell you the next part.
Oh no.
They are taking photos throughout the house, okay? Some people are stating that they're not feeling anything. Like one of the cameramen, there's like, I'm not really feeling anything other than like a cold chill. Some other people are saying like, oh no, I'm feeling something. I feel odd. I feel weird. The reporter, Laura Didio, she said she kind of felt a little bit off, but whatever. So
anyways,
they snap a photo. One of the most insane photos that is out there, okay? You can go on your slide.
Don't go any further.
Do you notice anything interesting about this photo?
Who's looking out that door?
I don't know. If you slide next, you'll see it in bigger.
Oh, what the?
I know. Isn't it creepy? If you go down one more slide, you'll even see it even bigger.
Hell no.
Now, supposedly, there were no kids there at all. So it's literally just adults. Like, obviously, they're having a psychic slumber party, quote unquote. Yes. Now, this photo has never... I forgot what the term is, but you know when you scientifically approve it or something, like it hasn't been altered or anything? Yeah. I don't know about that, but this is literally the photo that they took that night. And obviously in the time they didn't notice anything because they're investigating. They're taking photos. They're trying to...
I mean...
But it's creepy.
It's clear as day.
It is creepy.
I don't like it.
For those of you that aren't watching, I mean, go to our socials and watch it and look at it. It's so creepy. But it is pretty much a photo in like the hallway banister of the second floor. And there is a kid with like glowing eyes just peering slightly out of the door. It is so creepy looking. It's very
weird.
It is so creepy.
I don't like it.
Yeah, no, it's so creepy. It gives me chills. It gives me chills every time I see it. So there's other psychics that are there, okay? Because I'm telling you, it's a psychic slumber party. We've got reporters. We've got...
Everyone's
It's packed.
there.
It's a packed house. There's other psychics that added their own takes. And some people were experiencing different energies than others. From what I was seeing too, Laura Didio, she said, the reporter that she pretty much arranged this whole investigation to go down. Mm-hmm. She said that the Lutzes did really seem super terrified when they were telling their story. Yeah. And she believed that something really must have happened to them for them to flee for all their belongings, right? So Laura Didio, that night when they're doing the slumber party, she didn't see any flying objects or anything crazy, but she did say that one of the cameramen suddenly experienced some sharp pains in his chest. And Lorraine Warren later told her that Amityville was one of the scariest cases that she ever worked on. Now, this was at the time in 1976, okay? We know about a bunch of other stories now.
Yes.
Yeah, because even the recent movie, apparently that is they state that is the reason, like they stopped doing investigations after that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie was so good. If you haven't seen it, go see it.
Yeah, so here's the thing, though, right? If you think about it, like I said, either you're a skeptic or you're a believer in these things.
Yeah.
So there were some parapsychologists called Stephen and Roxanne Kaplan who dismissed the haunting as a hoax. So in reality, it's like some people believed it, some people didn't. Some people said that they felt something, some people said that they didn't. So it really just depends on if you're a believer in this or not, right? Yeah. But I mean, they're feeling something. I don't know.
There's obviously something there. You got bugs. You got green slime.
That's what the Lutzes say. Okay, that's what the Lutzes say. Okay. Now, there's other researchers that took a different approach. We've got Rick Osuna, who is the author of The Night the DeFeos Died. He suggested that the tragedy that happened in the house is just strictly human causes, right? Just possibly domestic violence and the drug use, and that Butch and his sister Dawn could have plotted to kill their parents before things spiraled out of control. But nobody really believes in the haunting aspect of it. Not nobody. A lot of people. It's a half-half. It's kind of a... And you'll see. We'll talk more about it. But
the house is beautiful.
The house is Gorgina. The house is Gorgina.
I would try to lie to myself too.
You want to lie?
I said I would try to lie to myself too.
Oh, about it not being real?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I would try to convince myself. Nah.
I love that. That's an interesting take that you think of, because I've never thought of it that way, of people just saying it's not real because they are too scared to believe in something like that. Yeah. Because it is something that is otherworldly and it would be unexplainable, and sometimes we all just need to have the answers to things, so that's why we can't really we have to be skeptics of it, because it's kind of it's paranormal, right? Everybody's got their own POV on what is paranormal and if they believe it in or not.
Exactly.
Because a lot of skeptics, even you'll be like, well, I need to see it to believe it.
Okay, to be fair, my name is Thomas, and in the Catholic Church, there is a saint. His name's Saint Thomas. What's his nickname? Doubtful Thomas. It's just in my blood.
That's your middle name? Doubtful Thomas? Okay, I didn't know that. That's a fun fact. I love that. Well, to add another layer to things, okay, I was reading different articles and watching a bunch of different documentaries, and I learned so much about the history of the land in Amityville and the house itself. In a lot of the claims, I'm going to give it to you, okay?
Okay, give it to me straight.
So there's this very well-known myth, which you already saw in, the Jay Anson's book. He claimed that there's the myth that the house maybe sits on an Indian burial ground. So that book, the book that Jay Anson wrote, is the book that people talk about to this day, because it's literally the first book that was ever written about the story in the house.
Okay.
And he was the one that worked with the Lutzes, okay? So this is from, like, everything that we saw, that you read in the book and in the main movie, is technically what the Lutzes say happened.
It's their more or less,
But come to find out that there are some things that they lied about.
Oh no.
Yes, to kind of like, there's some things that they kind of pivoted on, as I guess you could say, to make it a little bit more desirable to hear, more scarier to hear.
Faith in you guys.
Okay, but no, but we don't know. Okay, all we know. I am a big believer that something must have happened that night, even if they did fib on a few things, or maybe they just blatantly lied about it.
I see what you're saying.
I feel like if for a whole family who put all their money into a house to just leave all their belongings and bring nothing with them, something must have really had to happen to you. And there are accounts where people are like, anytime they've talked about it in the news back in the day, the reporters, all so forth, they actually sound terrified when they talk about it.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like something must have happened.
Okay,
but we don't know. All right, so let me get into it. Okay, so the myth is that the land is Indian burial ground. Mm-hmm. Now, some of the creepier legends about Amityville claim that the house was built on a Shinnecock Indian burial site, or that a witch named John Ketchum fled the Salem witch trials and settled near the property. He was practicing dark magic and even was buried in the backyard when he passed away. But none of that really holds up, because researchers have actually debunked these stories. Now, the Ketchum family, there was a Ketchum family that moved from Massachusetts to Long Island, but it was decades before the Salem witch trials. But there's no evidence that they ever really lived on or near the Amityville lot. So, debunked. Also, Puritan law wouldn't have allowed an accused witch to even be buried somewhere in like a consecrated ground, let alone in a backyard of a colonial Long Island, apparently. So that's what I read.
They're buried under a CVS.
Stop. That's so true. Because when we went to Salem, I was taking Tom and my brother around to the different areas of where certain. Why are you looking that way? Yo, don't be looking at when we were covering a spooky story. Oh, I thought you were looking at the door.
No.
Yo, you can't be doing that. My mustache is still long. Okay. When we were there, we went to one of the sites, and no joke, it's a CVS. It's a CVS. I thought that was where I think John Proctor was buried there. Yes, and some other people as well. But yes, very true. Now, the Shinnecock tribe actually lived about 50 miles east of Amityville, and there's no historical or archaeological proof of a native burial ground under the house, from what I was seeing.
Also, why the hell would you want to go that far away from your own, where your tribe is?
I was also seeing that they would never bury they would never bury anyone by the water. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. I forgot why.
It's probably because they think about it.
It's supposed to. It's
getting washed away or something.
Maybe. Yeah, it could be. But I remember seeing something like that where it's like it's just not something they would do. Okay. And that land is literally right on the water.
All right.
So in reality, well, the truth, the land was just ordinary farmland until 1920s when the house was built. So these myths of haunted burial grounds and witch graves obviously make a spooky, easy explanation, but from the history, it shows really no real connection there to the Amityville property.
Okay.
So the fact that they claim that, I mean, again, that's what they said, is the research that they've done. So after reading all this, I was kind of interested in the history of the house itself, because you hear about the haunted grounds and you hear about the houses growing up, haunted houses growing up and all that. So I'm like, okay, has anything else happened in the house? I don't know. Doesn't mean it has to be on buried haunted grounds, but you know what I mean? Like, is something else happened? Is there any other tragedies?
Okay.
Now, according to the deeds and information put together by the Amityville Historical Society, the land along the Amityville River was farmland belonging to the Ireland family, and they had a small cottage that lived there. Now, on January 14th of 1924, they end up selling the land to John and Catherine Moynihan, who end up removing the small cottage, and they hire a builder called Jesse Purdy in 1925 to build the alleged haunted home that we know now as Amityville, with the quarter moon windows. Their daughter later ends up selling the house to John and Mary Riley in October 1960, and the Rileys sell it to the DeFeos in 1965. So from what I was seeing, the only reported tragedies or hauntings are not even hauntings. The only reported tragedy is when Butch murdered his family.
Okay.
So now the story doesn't really end with the Lutzes leaving, because to me, I'm like, okay, the Lutzes left. They have the psychic slumber party. Everybody, and no joke, like when I was researching this at the time, everyone was suing everybody. They're like, that's not true what you're saying. Why are you saying that? That's not how it happened. This, that. Like it was like a sue party. Forth. It was a whole sue party with a bunch of different people. So I was wondering, well, what happens after? Like, there is someone who lives there now. Have they claimed anything hauntings after the Lutzes were? The Lutzes was the first family in there after the DeFeo tragedy. Mm-hmm. So wouldn't something else have happened? Okay. Well,
the people want
to know. The next family that ends up buying the home after the Lutzes was James and Barbara Cromartie. They buy the house in 1977. They actually get the address changed because all of the tourists that the home attracted. Yeah, like people were trespassing. People were not respecting the boundaries of the home. There were people outside always taking photos, which, by the way, like if you get a chance to pass by the house or are in the area, you can go see it, but don't just be respectful. Yeah,
it's just like when you go to any historical place, like in Salem, even when we went past some of the homes that were in the movies.
The Max and Danny house. Yes, it's just common courtesy that if you go, it's fine. Like they understand. They understand why people are there, but you don't want to stay outside for 5 hours.
How would you feel about somebody showing up to your house 24/7?
So do go if you are there, pass by it. Don't linger. Just be respectful. I know they have certain things that are roped off.
I mean, they do have a really nice pool with a cool look and water slide.
Yeah, which, by the way, they end up filling it. They end up filling the pool. No. Yeah, they end up filling the pool.
I was going to say, I would have knocked on the door if we went and been like,
no,
so your house is cool, but could we go swim with you guys?
That's exactly what they don't want.
Can we have a pool party? I'll bring the beer.
No, that's so funny. But they actually don't live there anymore. They're they're the next family. Yes. But if you do happen to go, just make sure you're respectful. They also have the what is it? The DeFeo grave is I think in the cemetery in Amityville or somewhere near. So if you are there, do pay your respects as well. I read this article, from the Amityville Record where Barbara stated, we had people outside all day and night of horror aficionados who flocked to the home. We always maintained a great attitude about it. They've also denied any such paranormal occurrences while living in the house. Barbara stated, our family loved living there. It might not have been for everybody, but it's all in how you handle it. When God gives you lemons, you make lemonade. We always had the best Halloween parties. The only issues they ever really had, from what I was seeing, was the crowds and the onlookers and trespassers. Okay. Which sucks too, because it's like, damn. And if you see the house itself, they have a long driveway, and they also share it. Like it's like 2 driveways, but they're together. So you could tell, like, one side is the neighbors, and the other side is theirs. Yes, and it's kind of like a little. It's they're on their own street. They're on their own street essentially. It's like
I
a
feel
corner.
like that's also very common in New York.
Yeah,
I've never really seen that honestly anywhere but the East Coast. From almost like Jersey all the way up through, say, Massachusetts.
I guess
I feel like that's something that I never really saw, and I love that.
Well, because they got to make room. They got to figure out how.
Well, it's true.
Yeah.
I like you have your own little driveway, you kind of have off of a driveway.
Yes, for sure. The Cromarties, they live in the home for like 10 years. They never report a haunting or any ghost activity. They changed the address of the house as well.
I didn't even know you could do that.
I didn't know you could do that, but I think in this instance it's allowed because of they're literally being bombarded with tourists and trespassers. So to try to kind of, when they changed it, it's not like they changed it drastically, but they changed it enough that you can't even look at it on Google.
We changed one number.
No, but you can't even find it on Google. They blocked it out. Like, they literally blocked it out. You can't even go on the street view or anything. Since then, the famous quarter circle windows that we know of Amityville House, they actually removed that. They changed it and they just put like regular square windows because they were trying to see if maybe that'll also deter people, because that was a signature of the house. Well, I was
gonna say, you can see it looking at the photo, it looks like they more or less did a addition to that top section of the house, because you look where the chimney is, it looks like they kind of built past the chimney.
Yeah. And they also ended up, one of the owners afterwards, they also add a sunroom. It looks gorgeous.
Really?
Oh, I think they end up upping up the square footage to like $5,000. $5,000 was wrong with me. Like 5,000. Yeah, 5,000 square feet. To 5,000 square feet, not an extra 5,000. That would be insane.
This house is beautiful.
It's gorgeous. So they fill in the pool. They also renovated the boathouse. And George and Kathy eventually end up divorcing and died in 2006 and 2004. Daniel Lutz, because that was my other thing too. I'm like, have the Lutz kids, now they're older, have they spoken out? Well, Daniel Lutz, he participated in the 2013 documentary that I mentioned. This is a different one actually. My Amityville Horror, and he just talks about how he still wrestles with the trauma of what happened. Okay. They don't really. It seems like there's some interviews with him, I think, or I couldn't really find it, but they do a documentary, and it's a lot of the accounts that he states. Okay. Christopher, he has tried to trademark the Amityville Horror to tell his version of the story. He does believe that an evil presence existed, but from what I was seeing, he criticizes his stepfather's. Apparently George had some involvement in a cult.
Oh.
Not a cult, sorry. In occult happenings. Like occult. Occult, not cultish. Yeah, sorry. So it seems like he was doing something that was a little bit dark. Yeah. From what it seems. Okay, so that's what he was claiming, that he kind of believes that's why there was evil presence and they had that trauma. Missy, she's just avoided being out publicly, which makes sense. Now, the Amityville narrative fueled an industry of films. I'm talking like over 30 movies, like I said earlier. Mm-hmm. There's books, there's podcasts, there's documentaries. There's phrases like Get Out, and that kind of became a big horror trope. Okay. Horror franchises like The Conjuring reference Amityville through the Warrens' involvement. They've got folklorists cite the case as an example of how a real crime was sensationalized by media because of this whole haunting. So it just kind of goes hand in hand. Now, here is why some people believe their story and why some people don't. Okay. So this is the belief in versus the skepticism out there, okay? Because I was like, there's so many different. I keep forgetting I have coconuts on my chest because I'm like, what is going on here? I wanted to kind of like break it down for you guys because again, it's hard. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I could see that. But then I'm also like, well, the flies. Oh, okay. But maybe not so much. Okay. So why some people believe. George and Kathy Lutz actually take a polygraph test and they pass it. Oh. Yes, they pass it.
Okay.
Their sons, Daniel and Christopher, like I said, they've both spoken out and they say the house was haunted and that they did experience something terrible. Christopher recalls that the windows would unlatch, recalls the shadowy figures, and even the family dog apparently was reacting violently at times. Okay. So like I said, there was a lot of tension. He also believes that his stepfather, George, had invited dark forces through occult practices. And Daniel said that he can't explain what happened, but it has left a lasting trauma on him. So to me, I'm like, okay, which I'm getting like chills just saying it because I just feel like I said, it's hard for me to not believe them because what kind of family would just up and leave their after 28 days of closing on a house and they lost money out of it, and all that. So the other point that I want to make is that their family friend Carol said that she became violently ill just trying to enter the house. So she ended up skipping their housewarming party. And she always believed that George and Kathy were sincere with their stories. Ed and Lorraine Warren is on this list as well because they are one of the psychics, and also there's other psychics that insisted that there were negative entities attached to the property. Yeah. And like these are people who you call, even though I know what a lot of people believe in Ed and Lorraine Warren, they think that they sensationalize paranormal stories and all that, and they kind of Hollywood things. So I get it. I know there's a lot of negative back.
There's always going to be some.
Yes, but again, like why would they not take their belongings? Okay, so why people are skeptics? Okay, so I made this list, and if I'm missing anything from the believers list, okay, let me know. But from the skeptics list that I made, there is the financial motive aspect to it. The Lutzes were struggling and had only made a small down payment on the house. There are some sociologists that argue that the haunting could have been a way to make money. And in the end, they did earn from one of the interviews that George did. He said at least like around $100,000 from the book and film deals.
Damn, at that time, that's
good money. Yes. But I also feel like that is such a, I don't know. that's a gamble. You don't know who's gonna believe that or not. Like,
that's true.
You just, I don't know. That's why to me it's kind of hard for me to think.
Especially at that time, I feel like back then a lot more people were skeptical of anything paranormal and stuff.
I could see that.
Now I feel like we have a lot more technology that kind of allows people to not feel so skeptical. So
right. Well, yeah. Now
crazy.
you've got like EVP readers and all that, so, and like all that. Yeah. And my thing too, they did lie about some things. So that's where I'm like to sell the narrative. So I'm like, man.
But it should. You could say the same thing with Ed and Lorraine Warren,
which is what people do say.
Yes,
yeah. So that's where.
And I'm sure there is still Hollywoodification is what I call it to some of their stuff, but at the same time,
it's just like I just always go back to the point of they're a family that fled their home. They left everything behind. I guess that's what is like sticking with me.
That's the biggest gamble part.
Yes. Now William Weber, which was Butch's attorney, later admitted that he and the Lutzes actually dreamed up certain parts of the story over like bottles of wine and drawing the details of murders.
I mean, hey, wine will do that.
Yes. And so that's where I'm like, okay, well, now you're not really helping me, Lutz,
George
and Kathy.
You're destroying your case.
Yes. But there was also kind of like a lack of proof thereafter, right? We can only just take their word on it, because even the priest that said to come bless the house, apparently he was changing his story over time. He never testified under oath, even though I think I saw somewhere that he did, but I didn't. I feel like I only saw one thing of it. If you guys know more about that, let me know. But neighbors reported, there was also neighbors that they didn't report anything unusual. The owners afterwards haven't reported anything. Like, all we know is just that the Lutz is the only family that experienced that. Okay. But again, to me, I just feel, who knows? The Lutz had also claimed that after they left, they fled the home and they moved to California, and they said that there was just really some weird instances still happening. So a part of me is like, did they follow them? I don't know. It's just hard, but it does not help their case, though. It really doesn't.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, investigators, they found no evidence of the broken doors or anything dripping of lime, and records of slime on the walls, like they said. And records show that there was no snow when the hoof prints was supposedly spotted. So, yes. So again, it's like, could that have been one of the things that they lied on to make it sell it more? As
the devil brought his own snow.
Yeah, right. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think some people, if they are like, I also don't want to invalidate what they experienced, because the kids say they did experience something negative. Like, we don't know.
It could just be that they kind of exaggerated or stretched.
Yeah. Like maybe they did. Yeah. Now, the rational explanation, a lot of scientists just point out to natural causes, like, maybe infrasound, carbon monoxide leads, maybe they had sleep paralysis, or the power of suggestion, which, like I said, could lead you to believe that something is going on that really isn't. But I mean, at this point, we're talking levitation, we're talking anger, we're talking you're experiencing noises, being touched, the cold chills. But I get it. I totally get it. Regardless of whatever you believe, I believe at least that something did happen that scared them so badly to leave and flee their home with just the clothes on their backs. But the question still remains. Can the house still be haunted? Maybe it isn't, because no one has claimed of anything else. They just said it's an ordinary home. But I don't know. What does that mean? I think at the end,
you tell us what you think.
Yeah. What do you guys believe in, honestly? Like, do you believe in the ghost story? Do you not? I also feel like, obviously, the story has taken shape and form of its own, because over the years, there's a lot of enthusiasts. People do love the mystery of it all. And don't get me wrong, it is a very interesting story. I remember growing up with hearing about the Amityville Horror, a haunted house. It's a trope, right? It's a whole thing. But again, if you guys do ever pass by the Amityville home, just be respectful. Do not, go see it and leave. Yeah.
Look at it.
And don't take too long. Yeah, don't take too long. So yeah, do you believe it, or?
I'm a half believer.
You're a believer.
I'm a believer.
Damn, yeah. I have to say, some of the stuff is fishy.
That's where I'm at.
Some of the stuff is fishy.
Some of it's a little fishy, but I do believe
believe
most of
something that happened.
Oh, wow. Everything's dying.
Okay. Yeah, so spooky ooky though. Spooky ooky.
I kind of want to watch some YouTube videos.
Do you want to watch Amityville Horror House? The true story?
Sure.
They also they have a bunch of movies, right? There's actually a movie in the 2000s, and Ryan Reynolds is in it. We're not a fan of them right now, but
no.
Ryan Reynolds is in it, and man, it's an okay movie.
Of course.
Yeah, I feel like the original.
It's a Ryan Reynolds film. If it was a Ryan Gosling,
yeah, we love a good Ryan Gosling. I love a good Ryan Gosling.
I mean, he's basically my twin.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, honestly, till this day, like, no one has experienced anything. So
Crazy.
I don't know. Let us know what you guys believe or what you think, or
comment down below.
Yeah.
Reshare the podcast. Let us know what you're thinking. Tell your friends and family to listen and let us know what they're thinking.
Yes. And we'll see you next week for another episode. Dun, dun, dun. And you'll see. What are we going to be dressed up next week? I don't know.
I don't know.
But we'll be dressing up for every episode of October.
We're going to be all like, who are you? Who are you? Who is this going to do? Or how is it
Yeah,
go?
you reference Hamilton a lot, huh?
I do. I love me some good Hamilton. Because, I'm just...
Oh my God, you should dress up as Hamilton one year.
I'm not throwing away my shot.
Thank you for joining us today on Macabre Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you know more about today's episode or caught a detail we might have missed, let us know. We love to learn new things. We love it.
We love it. But we'd also love to hear from you. Not just about this episode, but if you have a story that's strange, sinister, or downright spooky, doesn't matter how small you may think it may be, please send it our way. You can email us at macabremondays@gmail.com or head over to macabremondays.com to submit your story. Yours just might be featured in an upcoming listener episode.
We'll see you next Monday for another sinister, strange, and spooky episode. Stay tuned. More mystery is just around the corner. But until then, stay curious and stay safe. And don't forget, Macabre 13 Nights of Macabre, October 18th to the 30th. Make sure you tune in.
Woo!
Bye, everyone.
Deuces. The fact you were just fixing your hair though the whole time as we were recording.
I know. I couldn't help it. I had a.